Good morning. Weight loss is a funny, horrific, emotional, amazing subject. It really is. Like, it affects people in so many different ways. That's why for me, it's more than just dialing numbers into a calculator or something like MyFitnessPal and calculating your macros and that. There's the emotional and the psychological, there's the barriers, there's the previous experiences that you bring with you into a new method of weight loss. Okay, and all this is a variable in probably how you could measure your success. But like, weight loss is a mental thing. So many people give up at the good bit, right? Because it's the numbers game. Because at first, I mean, obviously weight loss at first is usually quite quick because, you know, smashing what you want and not moving enough. Then you address the two things, activity and food, so you move more and eat less, yeah? And then the weight comes down, right? Now the first, I don't know, 7, 8 pounds, you might not really notice, but you're on the show, like, well, it's going in the right direction, that's a good thing. And then so many people then, like, I had a client yesterday, she's 50 years old, we've been working together for a bit, about 10 weeks, I think, 15 or 16 pounds down. And then she comes in for a PT session, and I'm like, wait, where's your food pics? I haven't heard from you a few days. She's like, you know, I've just lost my mojo a little bit. I'm like, wait, well, slowing down, isn't it? Weight loss is slowing down. Like, what's the point? And you're like, no, man. Right, so you get what I call the first bit. You get the first bit off, right? You know, you get £2, £3, blah, 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 blah. It comes off, right? Then you start losing £0.5 pound a week or £1 a week. But they're the ones that make the difference, man. They're the ones when you know, that gives you that shape. You start to really sculpt the body. And I said, look, are you mental? I'm like, look at the shape of it. If I'd have offered you these results 10 weeks ago when we started, you'd have pulled my arm off. And now here we are, and you're like that. Like, oh, it's slowed down a bit. The human body can't just disappear. You can't just say, right, yeah, I lose £4 for 10 weeks and that's £40. Mate, you could ask anyone in my 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, £100 club. Yeah, and they go, oh yeah, I didn't just lose every week. Oh yeah, it wasn't just like amazing. I'm not just like, there's my macros, there's my food every week. Oh yeah, lost perfect amount. It doesn't work like that. Stress, sleep, water, more stress. You know, kids at home, kids going back. You know, the upheavals, the psychological aspects is huge. Yeah. Also as well, if you've embarked on previous plans that were extremely restrictive and you get to a certain number and you stop, you know, because you're like, oh, fucking hell, it's too hard, I just couldn't stop, right? You kind of bring that habit back in with you. So you might even get to the same number and then like all of a sudden you feel, oh, listen, I'll stop here because it's too hard. It's not even too hard. It's because it's what you're used to doing. I mean, that's how mental weight loss can be, man. You know, when people still say it, they say to me, oh, I only lost a pound. Is that it? And I'm like, yeah, but you've lost 2.5 stone. Yeah? And you throw that out the window and there's one. So there's two. Well, 7, 14, 28. So there's 35 pounds here, which you should be like, yes, yeah? And then the following week, a pound. You're like, oh, fucking hell. Like, oh, pound. Like, what's the point? Well, it's not. It's £36. Like, what? Your whole world has become that, and not that. It's a really weird thing, man. Really weird thing. Then, you know, and then like, and then this week to week thing. Say you do a weight loss endeavour for 12 weeks. Let's just say 12 weeks, right? And like within those 12 weeks, there's a couple of weeks where you're like, or you maintained, or you like, or just things went to shit, and you're like, oh look, then people go, oh, what's the point? Stop it. Well, why? You've got some really good weeks behind you, and you're letting this 1 week mess things up. Look, some people do it on one meal. Yeah, like, oh Ben, sorry, we got a call short, or this happened. So I had that one meal, and I was thought, oh, whatever. One meal. You know, you're so psychologically damaged by previous plans and cheat meals and sins and points and takeaways and fatty meal and stuff you shouldn't have, that when you have it, you think, oh, I've just ruined everything. I've just ruined everything, you know? And it's like, wow. But look, if you have someone doing it with you, they will guide you through these points. Like I do all my clients. Like when they say, oh God, yeah, but it's slowed down a little bit. And I'm like, no, whoa, look, this is how it works, man. You know, every time you lose a pound or half a pound of that, yeah, you're going to be pulling out the clothes on the rack that you haven't worn for ages. We haven't even got to that point, but now we're at that point, you know, we can delve into the back of the wardrobe and go, ooh, and it's still got the ticket on. Yeah, and you still got all that, and you think, well, mate, this is it. And like, imagine that, you run a race and you get to, you know, you do the hard bit and then you think, no, I'm done. You know, here's the finish line with the spoils and the glory and the tight dresses and the fucking, mate, the fact that you're going to be in a pub soon or going back to the office and you want to look fit and you want to feel fit. Because none of us have left our houses and we've had the weirdest year ever. Yeah? And don't give up. Never give up. Right? It's not won and lost in a week. You can't just lose. Yeah? One meal doesn't just make you lose and someone goes like, you're out. You're out. Yeah? Having a weight loss coach, having a food coach with you will help you with all this and that encourage you back on. The amount of people I encourage back on plan because of previous behaviours towards other plans. Yeah? And I'm like, no, you're not doing that, man. We're going to continue and I'm going to prove to you. And they get there and they're like, you know what, you were right. Like, say, Ben, I was moaning about this. I've lost £3 in the last 3 weeks, and that £3 feels more than the £20 I've just lost. And that's my job, yeah? And that's why I love it, and that's why I want to work with it. Have the best day, man.